Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are back today to speak again to Danak. Last time we picked up our little pet here, Ripper. Well, I named him Ripper. Minion of Thule. And he's just going to tag along, but he gives us some added bonuses to our stats, which is fantastic. We'll take that no matter what. Let's talk to Danak and get this started. Hello, sir. I'm back yet again. Yes, you came. You heeded my silent call. Silent call? Whether conscious of this fact or not, you are deeply connected with the spirits of your peers, Elswitch. The more fear you create, the stronger your psyche reaches into the dark nether regions that exist between all mortals. Your psyche reaches far, and I bid it return, and return you did. Oh, I see. Zagula and I have another task for you. The southern lands of Central Fadeware are ripe. No, overripe. Fear grips the citizens of Somborn, nestled among the crags of the loping plains. But Zagula, his genius. Do you know what he says to me? No. What did he say? To pluck and eat the fruit of Somborn's fear would be sweet, but too short. He tells me of a plan to fearlet the citizens, to drain them as a leech does a victim or a host. The more fear he taps, the more they will produce. Genius. He is in the village of Somborn in the loping plains waiting for you. All right, then I will go find him. This quest, it is a level 63, and it is called Somborn Spirits. We will get an altar upgrade once we get this. And we will also get quite a bit of action with Cazic-Thule as well as a ring. So let's go ahead and accept this. Serve them well, Elswitch. Saw and the Faceless. Oh, I shall, sir. Okay, we need to get to the loping plain. Okay, everybody, we're going to hop on over here. We need to go to the Greater Fadark. You cannot get to the loping plains from Butcher Block. I could have sworn you could. We can get to Lesser, and we can get to Steam Font, and we can go to Greater Fadark. So we are going to do that. I'll be right back once I get over that way, because that's a little bit of a jaunt. Okay, I'm going to guess that Za is in Somborn Village, but I could be wrong. So let me take a look at the map and see if he shows up. Yes, he is in the village. There's a stable right up here that we can take to the village. Now it is the middle of the night here, 1:30 in the morning. This zone has always been a little bit creepy. Vampires and such. Gives that haunted ambiance. I need to go to Somborn Village, please. Here we go. He should be right inside. Not sure what he's gonna look like this time. Oh, look. There is a mercenary. Lilac Laveria. Zombie battle priest. Not quite sure what you have to do to get her, but she looks very interesting. Okay, he's over here. Za? Maybe he's outside. Let's see here. Oh, he's not in the graveyard. He's outside the graveyard. My bad. Let's take a look at her, because she looks pretty interesting. Oh. Your dress is lovely, dear. I wish I could ask you to come along with me. Unfortunately, I do not have what I need for you. And she is a healing, Merc. Very cool. This game never ceases to amaze. It's always something interesting popping up. We need to get out of here, go into the actual city. There he is over here. Well, hello, Zaw. Are you ready, Elswich? Oh, yes, sir, I am. Good. The residents of Somborn have long been, let us say, providers to our cause. This is a dark land, and in turn, these are hard people. But even the most hardened succumb to fear. I seek to amplify that fear, even if only for a short while. Alrighty, I'm game. What do you have in mind? Long ago, there was a child of this place. Some malevolent force turned her mind, perhaps her soul, to dark deeds. She was slain. Her story is one that will be well known by these people. We can use that. I would like to jog their memory. One child I have already arranged to go missing, just as she once did. In truth, this young boy seeks to join our cause, but as far as the town is concerned, he went missing in the night. Oh. Well, what must I do? Travel to the fog hills north of Somborn. It is there that this child Isa was buried. Find her grave and pull from it her personal belongings. We will need them. Okay. All right, well, I'm not only a grave awaker, I am a grave robber. All right, okay, I don't know if it's going to give us a point on the map for this. North, he said. So there's a burial site. Perhaps that's it. It shouldn't be too far. There is a bridge here. We're going to cross this water because I have a feeling. See, there's these right here, a burial site, and there's also a bandit camp right here, but there might be more than one if this is not the one we need. So let's go see, because I don't see any other markers over there. So it has to be in that general area. Okay, there's the bandit camp. Okay, here's a burial site. Oh, it just has a dude in there. That's not it. There's one. This is what's marked on the map. We got her locket. Fantastic. Okay, so we need to go back to Za. So we'll just run back across the bridge. Okay. I found something, Za. I found this locket.
Just the locket? Ah, that's unfortunate. I know there was a tale of her that mentioned her belongings. I had thought they would be buried with her, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We will need to find that tale.
Well, who would have that?
Well, I'm sure you can find it in Somborn. It is called the Tragedy of Isa, I believe. Find it and read it. Once you have learned more, return to me.
Okay, so we have to look for this book. I wonder if that's going to be on the map. We're going to try to look here. Let's put in Isa. That's it. Tragedy of Isa. Oh, we have to talk to somebody. I was going to look for a book. I'm glad I looked this up on the map. Okay, let's check this out. Well, oh, maybe it's over here. Search books. Okay. There is a book in this stack titled The Tragedy of Isa. Take it. Nice, we got it. Now, it told me to go... There was somebody else standing over here. No? Interesting. I don't know. But we found the book. Now, we need to read the book. The good lass Isa Dondrael, daughter of John and Pila, disappeared 17 years ago on a humid, moonless night. John and Pila were good people, and to lose their daughter as such broke the town's heart. Though none believed it, they were reassured constantly of her safe return. 1 month had gone by when Isa returned. Her clothes were drenched, her hair a muss, and yet her lips wore a dagger of a smile. Despite that smile, her return was celebrated. Our time was spent rejoicing, not questioning. That night, we thanked whatever forces we thought had saved the lovely young girl, and were content to leave it at that. As the days passed, however, curiosity got the best of us. We were too timid to approach the girl herself. Her parents became the target of other queries. Where was she? What happened to her? And most of all, why the smile? That piercing smile. It cut across her face as a rend in a sheet hung to dry. Her dark straight hair hung low, leaving little skin visible save that around her mouth. It completely covered her eyes. Always, always she wore that smile. In a room it followed you as might painted eyes. Neither John nor Pila had any answers to give. They could not get her to speak, and dared not push her too far. It lingered in the town's unconsciousness, but we respected the family and kept our distance, would that we hadn't. It was a loud morning, 2 months at the least after Isa's return, when Faulkner roused his neighbors with his cries. He was a bloody mess. We thought he was sure to die before we learned none of the blood was his own. Though he was too affected to speak, he led us round the back of his house so we could see for ourselves. His goats lay slaughtered, the meat often as not stripped from their bones, their limbs separated from their bodies, scattered about Faulkner's yard. There was a bloody mess of a trail leading toward the deep down gulch. It was then that I noticed the Dondriels were not present. I can't say I am the only one that noticed. It seemed a silly thing to notice at such a time, but I noticed regardless. I was overcome with unease and retired to my home. It was there, while sipping tea, that I saw John Dondriel steal from his house. He crept forward, glancing over his shoulder. The twined package under his arm pulled at my curiosity. When he disappeared into the graveyard, I took a moment to calm my thoughts. This was nothing, surely. Before my mind could make any accusations, I left the house, intent on stimulating myself otherwise. I busied myself calming the fiasco at Faulkner's. That night I could not sleep. My ears amplified the sounds of the night as if they were not present before. The soft step of a night animal became the crunch of feet on ground toward the graveyard. The wind became whispered voices, conspirators. And the creaking and groaning of old houses became the growling of beasts ready to devour. My mind would not let go of John in the graveyard. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself walking across town and through the graveyard gates, shovel in hand. The moon was bright overhead. In a night or two it would be full. Gave me light enough to find the recently disturbed earth that I sought, and I began to dig. I found John's package and hefted it from the ground. I placed it upon a headstone and undid the twine knots. Before I got it open, I twisted my face in reaction to the scent of goat urine. Once open, however, I was faced with what appeared to be a dark folded piece of cloth. Blood. My hand was coated in blood now. I shouldn't have reached inside. I pulled back at the feel of it, knocking the package off of the headstone. The cloth freed itself from the package, enough of itself for me to recognize the frills of the white, now red, gown Isa often wore. Despite my fear, I was ready to pick up the item when I heard the soft steps of someone in the distance. I turned to the town, and there stood Isa. Her naked body shone in the moonlight. Though I did not move and did not breathe, she faced me. I could not see her eyes. The open grin stared me in the face. My heart raced. The wind picked up. Isa turned and disappeared between the two buildings. I do not know how long I stood there. I was afraid to move or make any noise. I wanted to place John's package back within the confines of the earth, but there was no way I could hide the blood that spilled across the headstone and soaked into the ground. I was tired and afraid. I left the scene and ran home. I slept, though. I know not how I managed it. I awoke to commotion. My hands were clean of blood. I did not recall cleaning them, but I was glad of it. I exited my house and joined the throng that had gathered outside Isa's house. I didn't need to ask questions. Others were doing enough of that. I only had to listen. I didn't see her, but Albert did, said Tira. Oh, that poor boy. Like a ravenous wolf, they say. Pila D'Andrea stood guard between her door and the angry crowd, but the look on her face gave away her lack of conviction. When they pushed her aside, she did not struggle. 4 pitchfork-wielding citizens entered first. Those that followed quickly stopped and backed from the house. Silence spread through the crowd, and one by one, people found their way to the door to look in. There, John D'Andrea sat, his head heavy in his clenched hands, his body shaking as if in a sobbing heave, and yet his face was vacant. On the floor Isa lay. Her neck was brightly blemished with John's guilt. Her face discolored, her smile straightened. We left. No words were given, no explanation asked. Justice, it seemed to us, was done, yet at what cost to John? Time passed. My mind cannot recall how much exactly. Pila, too, seemed unable to function. Her father, a tradesman from far away, came to retrieve her one day, and John did not see her off. And then one day John, too, was gone. The children say he scared them from way under lake that day. He and his heavy sack going in, never to emerge. The adults would rather not speak of it. So I'm guessing from that story that they put their daughter out of her misery because she was going around and killing things. She wasn't in her right mind. I'm guessing. Maybe we'll get a little bit more info from Saul. Sad story. Kind of morbid.
Did you learn the location of her belongings?
I believe so. It seems her father drowned himself with her belongings.
Ah, yes. I recall that now. Way under lake. Very well. We shall just have to get Isa's things from her father.
Okay, how we can do that?
Well, if he haunted these lands, I am sure there would be local legends about him. But his spirit will still reside here. Of that I am certain. One does not go through what he did and cross peacefully into the afterlife.
All right, how do I draw out his spirit?
In his case, we can speak to him. Here, take this scroll. Read it near the bridge by Way Under Lake. Once used, look to the sky. Above you will be a floating orb of light. You must toss the locket you have into that orb. That should bring Isa's father back to our realm for a time. Once he has been called, get Issa's belongings from him.
All right, sir. Okay, is the bridge right, the one that's right outside? Yes, it is. So now we will get the father's version of the story. Okay, we have to read it near the bridge on the west end of the lake. Well, this is the bridge. Let's see if we can read the scroll. Zagula's scroll. Oh. Let's toss the locket. Oh, is this him? It is. Hello, John.
So tired.
Rest now, John.
How did things get this way? Why, my family? Why?
Oh, it cannot be explained. It just is.
So tired.
Rest. Release your burdens. It is long over.
Aye, it is over. I'll just rest.
That's right. Let's pick up her stuff. I guess we didn't learn much from him. But let's take her belongings back. We got a scarf, a hairbrush, and her jewelry box. Okay. Wonder what we're going to do with that stuff.
Well met!
Do you have the belongings?
Yes, I do.
Good. Those will do nicely. I would like you to travel around Somborn, placing these objects in the town. One near the door to the church, one near a door to one of the houses, and one near a merchant's tent. It has been nearly 2 weeks since that young boy went missing. Some have mentioned Issa's name, but this will put her at the top of everyone's mind.
Okay. I'll place those items. This looks like the church. I wonder if there's going to be a marker for me. Let's check the map. And I don't see a marker. Let's see. Okay, that's the jewelry box. That's not it. That is the hairbrush. And that's a scarf. Doesn't matter which one, apparently. You are not in the right location to drop this. Alright, that must not be the church. Is this a church? Okay, so we got that one. Oh no, that's not the church. That was just by somebody's house. Alright, I thought this big building here was the church. I mean, it looks like one to me, but wait, is this a church? Maybe this is the church. Oh, that doesn't look like a church, but let's see what happens. No. Okay. That's a house also. This has to be the church. The rectory. Isn't that what a rectory is? Maybe you have to go in. No. Okay, well, let's try to find the merchant that we need to drop the next one by. Alright, we dropped her hairbrush, so now we just need to find the church. And I had to look up the waypoint because I don't want to waste a lot of time. This is where we just were. And we did go inside, but maybe we just had to be at the door. We are done placing the items. Let's go back. I placed everything.
Ah, good. You have sown the fear we shall all reap. The town will remember Isa and the fear she brought. They will recall this latest missing child and fear for his safety. They will fear also that his return will be as Isa's was. You give much strength to the Knights of the Faceless.
Well, that's good to hear, sir. And that is the end of that quest. So we pick up a upgraded altar. And we'll just pick up that ring.
Better than you know, Elswitch.
Until next time, goodbye. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Please give a like and subscribe. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye now.